Hey everybody, on this video today I am going to take apart, hopefully, and take out an engine and transmission of an 89 Corvette 6-speed. The reason I'm doing that is because of this frame right here and that body over there covered in plastic. So if you're new here, I'm trying to do a winter time only build on a 1972 Chevelle. Had the car for over 20 years. It's one of those ones that's set in the side yard. I'll fix it, I'll get to it one day, I'll get to it one day. Multiple trees growing up through it, a couple snakes living in it later. I decided, you know what, this winter is the time I'm going to try to do it. I'm trying to do it somewhat on a budget, not do really expensive builds, every little corner, every little step. I'm just trying to touch everything on the car and make it a little bit better than it was when I first started. So over there is the body, which has gotten a lot of work done to it. I recommend you go check out the other videos, floor pans, roof work, just a lot of stuff. So it's kind of at a stopping point for right now. Started on the frame last couple videos, got it all torn down, got it all cleaned up. Before I decided to paint it, I was like, you know what, let me move this out of the way, pull that Corvette in and get the drivetrain out. And that way I can do some test fitting on this thing. So that's what I'm doing in this video. Let me move this frame out of the way, and then not the Chevelle, but then the Corvette is going on its final journey as that car and that engine and transmission. And it's going to be from pulling it right there to right here in this shop. It's got about 20 feet left in its life in its current configuration. So thanks for tuning in. Give me a like and subscribe if you like this kind of stuff. Let's get ready for the video. I know it doesn't mean a whole lot, but this is the last time this car has moved under its own power, like I said, in this configuration. So kind of a stepping stone, turning point. So I figured it was worth the film to get its final movements. It's a pretty brisk morning too, as you can see, with the frost on the windshield and all over the car. So I guess we'll see how well it runs. Final start. See if she'll do it. Final ride of the Corvette. She's only going about 20 feet. I'm centered up on the left real quick. It's sitting for about a week and it's like 20 degrees out, so to be expected. It's not perfect, but a little smoky in here. I'm sure it could use a tune-up. I've heard from the guy I bought it from that the gas is about 2 years old. The car's been sitting for 2 years. When I actually drove it home. So story, if this is kind of your first time at this channel, 72 Chevelle, doing a cheap build on it, trying to just spend the winter time on it. It was in terrible shape, so I'm trying to get it back together. My original plan with the Chevelle was to create basically like it was back in the day, just a good running sedan. I was going to rebuild a stock 350. I was going to put a really low or high gear in it, however you want to phrase it, like a 290 or a 320 something, to make sure that it was nice and calm out on the highway, because I wanted to travel with this car. Wanted to take the family out. This is going to be our road trip car. So that was the idea, make it gutless down at the bottom and then comfortable out on the highway, 60, 70 mile an hour. Ran across this by accident. First, that thing I said was no way, but then I started doing some research on it, and it's actually a 5.7 liter small block, just like I was going to put in it, but it's got the fuel injection system on it, and it has a 6-speed. 6-speed's got a double overdrive. So I was like, wait a minute, I could still have fun around town, first, second, third, and then fourth, fifth, and sixth. Nice cruising gears, get out on the highway, and still get somewhat decent fuel mileage. So that's why I got this. Got a good deal on it, so I'm still sticking with the cheaper side of the build. I didn't go out and buy a brand new LS crate motor and a T56, you know, still trying to say it. In theory, I mean, this car is still over 30 years old. I think it's like 37 years old or something like that. So I'm taking like a 50-something-year-old car and updating it to 37-year-old car stuff. So grand scheme of things, I'm still doing this, not the high build status. So to me, it fits the budget build type thing. In case you're wondering, this car is a little bit too far gone, in my opinion, to restore. The paint's in terrible shape. It would need a complete paint redo. Power steering's messed up. Rack and pinion needs to be replaced. The interior would need to be completely gutted and redone. Every single piece of rubber on the car is dry rotted. So it's not like I'm taking a perfectly good Corvette. Like, it would take some money to put this thing back together. And at the end of the day, in my opinion, I think it would be cooler to have the Corvette drivetrain in the Chevelle than it would be to just have another C4 out on the road. Comment down below, let me know what you think. What would be cooler? Redo this C4 or put its drivetrain in this Chevelle? Let me know what you think, but I can tell you what I'm going to do. So we'll see how that goes. Last ride in the Corvette, my first Corvette. This is it. So now, I guess I'm gonna start the disassembly, take the hood off and start seeing what it needs to take the engine and transmission out. Also, I guess before I get started, I should probably show you the engine, the important part for me, and the mess that I've got to deal with here. So I'm trying to take all of this and put it inside of that. Like I said, the interior is roached. I mean, it doesn't like smell or nothing. It's just years of abuse, and like I said, this car's old, so it's to be expected. But there's the important part for me. 6-speed manual. I believe they call that transmission a ZF6. It's not lost on me. I know I'm taking a perfectly good car and destroying it, but you only live once. You gotta do some stuff, have some fun. So don't let that kind of crap hold you back. There's plenty of these cars out there. You can find them. So now let's get started. quick update on the car. I know it probably seems like it's taking a long time if you're doing the math on the time lapse, but I'm going slow with it because I kind of need to see where all of these clips go, and I need to determine which part of the wiring I'm keeping, which part of the brackets, the bolts, everything like that. So I'm kind of assessing how the car is put together while taking stuff apart. And I'm also trying not to destroy everything on the car because obviously a lot of this stuff could be sold. So if it was just a junkyard car, I could just cut it in half, yank the motor out, you know the deal. But so I'm trying to kind of go about it as if I was putting it back together, but learn the car at the same time. So going slow with it, but as you saw, got the car up in the air, got the hood off, pulled the headlights out, the hood off, one side cover for the battery. The entire exhaust is out with the exception of the headers, or manifolds I should say, because they're stock. Grab a flashlight so you can see. Let's see what we got. Cut the exhaust right here. I'm getting ready to unbolt it. I just did that because it was way easier. Either side. This car only has one O2 port, or one oxygen sensor, and it's on the driver's side. So that was basically it up here. This little tiny pipe was something to do with it went back into the exhaust, so I'm sure it's emissions something, so I just cut it off. Let's see, what else did we do? Pulled the wiring for the transmission, which I believe is the vehicle speed sensor all the way in the back. And then there was another sensor up top. I don't know what it was. Maybe neutral switch, or maybe vice versa. That was, one was neutral, one was speed. I'm not sure what this sensor is here. It wasn't plugged in. It's got a cap on it. Goes to this like little solenoid or something on the side. I'll have to look that up, see what that is. But yeah, I got the exhaust out. Little exhaust hanger. First kind of look at the transmission from underneath the car. So I guess next I'm going to take the line from the oh gosh, what's it called? The slave cylinder. There's a little hydraulic line on top of that. I take that line off, then unbolt the drive shaft, and maybe I can squeeze it out of here. If not, I'll have to wait till I drop it down a little bit more. Finish taking the exhaust off right here. Unhook a couple more things like the O2 sensor and moving the slave cylinder line out of the way. Then I think it's onto the top side. Oh, I also drained the radiator fluid, the coolant, pulled the little petcock here, which means over half of it's still probably in the car somewhere, and it'll come gushing out when I least expect it, but I at least tried to drain it. So I think that's just about it. Those last few things for underneath the car, and then we'll drop it back down and start working from the top side. Good morning. Battery died yesterday, so I think it lasted until I got to this stage. So I was kind of ready to stop anyway, so I ended up stopping. A little update this morning of where we're at. As you saw, got the condenser, the radiator, all of the shrouding, the fan, jack shaft, drive shafts over there. What else did we pull out yesterday? Front bumper, battery, power steering, at least power steering reservoir, and then the rest of the fan shrouding stuff that was all in the way. Can't take the wheels off because it has these dummy locks on it. It takes a special lug nut, so I'm asked the previous owner if he can locate it, so hopefully he comes back and lets me know. A little sidebar on that. What a shame that people in this world steal stuff. So now the good citizen has to lock up their wheels and tires, which just causes all kinds of extra work for us honest people. Kind of aggravated me yesterday. Not that I didn't have the wheel lock, but because you have to have a wheel lock. I don't think it's as bad nowadays, but it just aggravates me that some people ruin it for everybody. But enough of that little rant. Got all of that out. That leaves me with a good bit of room to work around. Got to finish taking the AC off, so I'll probably have to take this inner fender liner out so I can get to the bottom two bolts. I'm going to try to take this all off as one unit. Hopefully I can do that, or at least get it over out of the way. I don't know if I'll be possible, but if I can, I'm going to try to squeeze that into the Chevelle as well. So maybe I can get AC in the car. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work, but I figured I'll at least take it off and try to salvage most of it as I can. So if I can get that off of the engine this morning, I'll probably take some of the accessory drives off after that, and then I think it's kind of start to work on the taking the engine and transmission out of the car. So hopefully that happens today. That'd be great. So that's the update as of this morning. Also pulled all, of course, when I got the front bumper out, I pulled all the wiring out and emissions garbage and kind of put it over here to the side out of the way. So yeah, let's keep cracking on it. Turned the time lapse off because I was just getting nickel and dime, little piece here, little piece there, and it wasn't really much to watch, but I'll walk you through what I did. Like I said, it was just taking me forever. It's a lot of little stuff I was trying to take off. It would have been way easier just to sawzall this car in half to pull the motor and transmission, but I feel like I should have, but I didn't. So ended up getting the rest of the AC components completely taken off. Had to take the bracket off as well so that I could get the fuel lines out of the way. Here are the fuel lines pulled out of the way. There's about 87,000 heater hoses going through this whole system, so I got all those out of the way. Pulled all the electrical connectors off the AC system. Got it tucked up here. Let's see, what else did we do? I just ended up cutting the power steering line because it was too much of a pain to get to, and I'm not using that anyway, so if I do, I'm going to put a new line on it. So cut that. Ended up pulling all the wiring up and running it and setting it on top of the car. I believe this half of the wiring that's sitting up on the roof is all body harness stuff, with the exception of the cruise control. This harness here goes behind the engine over to the AC components, so it stops right here, and that was all tied in down here on the bulkhead of the engine. There's a bulkhead there, and those two split in half. One side's supposed to be for the motor and one side's for the body. So I've got those separated. I think I have everything disconnected, and this engine harness should come out with the engine. I'm sure as soon as I start to lift it, there's going to be 87 more things that are still connected that I'll have to get hopefully disconnected and can get to them, / they'll break. But I think I have all of that disconnected. It was an absolute pain. Like I said, it just took a long time to do, but got that disconnected. Inside the car, I took the center console out. I got the transmission shift knob off, and the engine, or the transmission's dropped down now because I got underneath of it and pulled out the brace. This is a brace for the Corvettes. It runs like this inside the car. Those 4 bolts go to the differential housing, and those 4 bolts go to the transmission. So got that off. That was an absolute pain. I think that's it. I'm sure I'm missing a bunch of other stuff, but that was kind of the gist of it. So I think it's ready for me to start the hassle of trying to get this whole unit out. I don't know that I'm going to be able to, but I really hope I can, because I really don't want to split them. The last thing I did was pull the engine hoist over here and hook everything up, and it's just put some tension on it, and then I went and got the camera. So that's where the update is. Hopefully I put you all on the time lapse, and it's very short, and you see this entire piece come out. So we'll see how that goes. All right, wish me luck. I'm gonna need it. What an absolute mess. It's almost impossible to pull this together and pull it with the engine harness. Again, nothing's impossible, but what you gain is nowhere near close. I was trying to pull it with this entire engine harness on, which you would think you should be able to do that. But apparently, like you saw I started to do and then gave up on, you have to take the entire dash out of the car, get the complete ECM and all the wiring that comes along with it has to come out. because there's no bulkhead connector going to the ECU. Awesome design, whatever. So while it was suspended, I had to de-harness the engine. I didn't want to do, but it is what it is. Also, I got fed up and cut the frame rail out of this unit. I'll show you more about that in a second. Probably shouldn't have, but tired of messing with it. Yeah. Doing this reminds me of how much I'm not a fan of standard mechanical work. I like creating new things. I'm not a huge fan of taking apart old things from an engineering standpoint, going backwards and trying to figure out how to put it together and how they want it taken apart. It's miserable. Oh well, this isn't an actual step that you have to go through, so can't complain about that. What's the glory without the hard work? Ta-da! Corvette engine, Corvette transmission, 6-speed, black tag. Yeah, what I'm talking about. Get a little bit further over, would be nice. Alright. Let's set it down right here somewhere. Picturing Grease Lightning, John Travolta dancing on the engine. Sure, some of you got that reference. I'm making this right and roll it around. Be nice. Okay. She's landed. For the most part, stable. It's not doing a whole lot, is it? In the Chevelle. Yeah. This is why I don't like standard mechanical work. It's not that it's undoable. It's just not pleasurable in my opinion. It's nice to have it out. But taking all the brackets off, and this bolt's blocked by that bolt, which is behind this bolt, and they ran this wire this way. But hopefully it'll be worth the glory having this thing in the Chevelle. So yeah, props to you guys that love that mechanical stuff, man. Like, not mechanical modifying, but just like standard mechanical work. Like, hey, I'm gonna do this maintenance item or broken XYZ. To me, that's not where the fun's at. The fun's at now that I can take this out and put it in something cool. But I'm privileged to be able to do that, so it is what it is. Yeah, I don't know. Let's do a walk around real quick. Engine out, transmission out. You can take it out in one piece. As you can see, I clearanced the frame a little bit to get it out. So, yes, you can. Should you? Probably not. But this car is a trash car, so I wasn't really worried about it. And really, to be honest, if somebody wanted to put this back together, they certainly could. I mean, that's not very thick wall tubing. You could put that right back in there, brace it up, weld it back in. And nobody would ever really know if you were making a race car out of it or something. But anyway, yeah, this is the entire engine harness that was supposed to go with the car. But right here, these wires go through the firewall, and this is not a connector. This is just sealant molded into this plastic and put through the firewall to keep it weather tight. So that one chunk right there was keeping me from pulling the rest of the harness with the motor, because that has to go into the ECM, which I believe is this yellow box I got sitting right here. But I was unprepared, didn't have the dash already out. Going back, I would have done that. Would have taken the dash completely apart, got into the firewall, taken all the connectors off, and then fished them through. But I wasn't prepared. I didn't know that. It's my first time working on any of these Corvette stuff. So since I was motor hanging in the air kind of deal, I just went ahead and took the rest of the harness off the engine, which consists of this harness here, which is the fuel injectors for this side, fuel injectors for the other side, and a couple of odds and ends. Hopefully I can remember how it goes back. So yeah, there is the Corvette, motorless, transmissionless, a few interior bits gone. Cool. So that's where I'm going to end off this video. I got the engine, transmission out. Corvette's sitting here, motorless, transmissionless, sort of gutted. Just going to end it off here. It's a good stopping point. Next video, we're going to be working on getting the harness out of the Corvette, and then, which includes taking the dash apart to get the ECM out, then pushing this shell back out into the driveway to get it out of the way. Then we're gonna jump on pulling this frame back out, paint it, and get it prepped to put the brand new suspension on it. Thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. Like, comment, subscribe. Thanks to everyone that's already recently subscribed. I appreciate it. It means a lot. Catch y'all on the next video.